So I just climbed a mountain, but it's probably more of a molehill that I'm making into a mountain. And rule number one of actually climbing a mountain is climb the right mountain. Climb the right mountain. I know it sounds obvious, but it's quite strange that when it comes to our problems and our issues as leaders and organizations, sometimes we're not very good at defining exactly which mountain we're trying to climb. And an example of this is when you look at typical meetings. Sometimes we'll sit in a meeting and we'll have a discussion about something, and we'll say, you know what, this is the problem, and then we'll go around in discussion and discussion and discussion for ages. And at the end of it, you've had like a half an hour discussion and there's no resolution. And part of the reason for this is that we don't define our issues and our problems correctly. So one of the methodologies that we use in our meetings is that we use something called IDS, which basically stands for identify, discuss, and solve. And so the first thing we do whenever we're looking at an issue is we identify exactly what the issue is. The better you define the issue and the problem, the easier it's going to be to solve it. So rather than just saying something like, oh, we're having issues with this, we need to get into the specifics and define it very, very clearly. And it's quite amazing that if you define it well, suddenly the discussion becomes a lot shorter. But once you all agree that, look, this is actually the issue, then we can discuss what are the things we can do to resolve it. And after we've come up with some options, we then solve it using one of those. And of course, if it doesn't work, then we go back and we do exactly the same thing. So identify, discuss, and solve, and pick the right mountain.